This car takes 10 quarts of AMSOIL, or not AMSOIL, but of 5W50 synthetic, so I'm going to use AMSOIL. I use AMSOIL in all my cars. I don't really want to get into an oil debate with you, but anything I've ever read, or Motul, AMSOIL, tend to be, was it Redline, tend to be the best rated oils, much better than Mobil 1, or even Castrol TWS, or I guess Valvoline's new version is supposed to be pretty legit. But this oil has always done really, really well for me. I used to do oil analysis on all my cars when I was younger, like my E92 M3, my S2000. I always did Blackstone oil analysis. If you're not familiar with, you can go to blackstone.com. They'll send you little vials. I think they send them for free still. So they send you the vials, and then as you're dumping the oil in the middle of the fill, you put it under, you fill up the little vial, and you put it in a little tube, and you send it off to them, and then they do an analysis. I think it's like $50 or $60 or something like that. I'm not going to do this on this car. It just doesn't, I don't even want to. Sometimes I just don't want to know. I just want to live life, live a happy existence. So I'm still wound rather tightly, but believe it or not, I used to be wound much more tightly. I wanted to know all that stuff and wanted to compare and how's my engine wear happening. But I don't tend to keep my cars long enough now to really even matter. So I'm not going to do that. But if you did, it's really easy to do, and something that certainly could be beneficial, and it's cool just to see the metals that are shearing off of the cam and stuff like that. What's building up. So this car has a plastic oil pan, and I think there's kind of a few funky spots. I'm going to have to go tear off some cardboard so I can bend it so it runs down so it doesn't make a big mess. But this is my first oil change in a GT350 or in a Mustang of any kind. So I'm going to figure that out today. I'm sure the next time I do an oil change will be much quicker, much easier to do. Usually the first time you do a car, it takes a little bit longer. So 10 quarts, 5W50. I've got the Ford Motorcraft GT350 filter, so I'm going to replace that as well. And I got the manual out in case I need it. So let's get cracking. So I thought I had to pull this out to get the PCE code. I'm going to take a picture of this so that I can give it to Lund to do the tune. Pretty simple. All right. So I don't know how much you guys got of me yelling and screaming the stupid jack pad things, but hope this isn't the start that we're off to in modifying this car, because this is not good already. So let's get the thing ready for oil change. You missed the part. I'm pretty sure I didn't have the cam running when I got the super glue out. Oh Lord. You older guys that do this kind of stuff on your own like I do, you know exactly what I'm going through, exactly how it works. And so you missed me running over trying to find something quickly to get on my hands, because I didn't put gloves on, didn't get a paper towel or anything. And so I got the freaking super glue out. So now I'm going to have super glue all over my fingers, and I had my hands like this, and I had to pry them apart real quick. It's just a total disaster. Lord, if you can't laugh at yourself, then you'll end up in a loony bin. So let's work on changing the oil and hope it doesn't go as badly as that just did. Because I've got 2 jack pads, neither one of them are fitting correctly, but I don't think they're going anywhere, so. What I need to do is just stick with, I need to stick to the cars that I know, because usually the first version of every car I get, I mess it up. And so, yeah, if when I get another E92 M3, the thing will be great, because I know what the heck I'm doing now. Obviously oil goes in here, 5W50. Where's my dipstick? I think this thing has a dipstick. Maybe it doesn't. I thought it did. This motor looks great. I get rid of this thing. Get a different intake pipe. Oh, there it is. I knew there was a dipstick. I'm not that dumb. It's all the way up under here, kind of hard to get to. Relatively short. So obviously I'm not going to get a good oil reading with the car up on, not flat. So I'm going to dump the oil. I'll put like 9.5 quarts in, and then we'll come back and top it off. I can't tell you how happy it makes me that we have a dipstick in this car. All right, so first I remove the dipstick, then we'll pull the filler cap off. Just keep a roll of paper towels handy for the inevitable pile of oil that I spill on the ground. Oh, you can see the timing chain right there, right through the hole. Cool. All right, so let's dump it. All right, so I'm gonna get up underneath the car, figure out what I need. I'm sure there are a couple of DIYs up there online, but I'm just gonna go at it. I've changed the oil in enough cars. I would think this one would be easier than most. All right, so there's a little door, a little drop-down panel right here. So it's a little hex. So we've got just shy of 2,500 miles. Normally I dump it around 1,000 or 1,500. I just haven't had time, or haven't made the time to do it. So I'm gonna do it now. All right, so you can see the plastic tank with the drain bolt. So I'm gonna pull that out, and then there's I'll get you a different angle where the oil filter is under there. Interesting, that thing pops right out like in 2 seconds by hand. Very, very loosely installed. And so the oil is almost completely out in like 30 seconds. So we'll let that drain for 10 minutes or so. All right, so the plug is back in. Notice how simple that thing is. You can really almost remove it and put it back on by hand. Super easy to deal with, so light, and I kind of like it, having a plastic pan. All right, so here's where the little door is, and then you'll notice up in here is the oil filter. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna loosen the filter. I'm gonna grab a little piece of cardboard, and I'm gonna direct the oil into my pan, which is sitting right there. So I'm going to pull the pan in. Got this little piece of cardboard so that I can make a little guide so the oil doesn't run down and get all over the place. Not really sure how big to make it, so. Let's prep our new filter. That's cool. It has a little installation, little torque spec. Let me get I think this is the right one. Yep. Okay. Just put a little oil in there so I can seal the rubber gets a good seal. That's clever. Put this back on so I don't make a mess. So I'm going to go into the car and put the new filter on. Got a piece of cardboard ready.
to get it ready. That's on, sort of. Let's do these deals. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Take this sucker on there. Let's see if I can do this without getting it in my eyeballs. Oh, come on. This is the right tool, right? That's why it's not turning correctly. So you can't have the long one. There's got to be a better way to do this. Well, there goes my cardboard. Just loosen this sucker up first and I'll get it. Okay, now I can hand loosen it, I think. Let's drop the cardboard and the freaking oil pan. There we go. Giant mess. Yeah. A huge mess. Medium mess. Oh crap. Oil dripping everywhere. The cardboard plan didn't work so well. Dripping all the way down the pan.
All right, let's check my jack pads that didn't work. See if they actually allow me to jack the car up. Get the oil pan out, Rye. Whoa, that was close. seems to work. Yep. All right, so I'm gonna go in, put 9.5 of these puppies in here. Start the car up, let it sit. And check the levels. All right, so I got nine quarts in there. Let's put half of this one in here, because I'm guessing we didn't get all the oil out of the car. You know, I didn't really stress about it. Just let it drain for 30 minutes or so. And I didn't let it heat up super hot. So we'll dump half this in. I'll start the car up, reset the indicator. Let it run for a couple of minutes. Then what I normally do is I'll go and I'll shut the car off, I'll let it sit, let the oil drain back down in the pan, and I'll check the levels, and then we'll go from there. So while it's sitting, I'll usually go clean up all of my mess and put all the oil in my old container so I can drop it off at a auto parts store or something like that. So get this out. Telling you guys, I need a lift so badly. I mean, even changing the oil in this thing is a pain in the rear. Oops, I got a little drip here. Getting the filter out in this thing is kind of tricky. So I got oil all over the place underneath the pan, underneath the little air guide thing, piece of plastic. All right, so let's put our dipstick back in. Kind of an odd location underneath this strut tower brace. All right, so let's start it up. We'll set our oil indicator light. Fuel economy we're getting. Oh, nice. 13.5 miles per gallon. Let's see, longer term, 15 and a half over the last 2,400 miles. And so we're changing the oil at what, 25.90. So a little later than I normally do. So I'll let this come up to operating temp. Then I'll let it sit. And then we'll check the levels and then add if I need to. There is virtually zero engine noise on this puppy. All comes out the back. So let's check the oil level. So the car's still pretty hot, but it's been sitting for about 15 minutes or so. So if you've never changed oil before, check the oil before, pull the dipstick out. Most of you guys with BMWs and Porsches don't have one of these anymore, so it really doesn't matter. Put it back in. And we'll pull it out and check the level. I think we're good. Let me just check it one more time. Yep, perfect. I don't know how good you guys can see it, but you know, there's two little circles. And let's get this zoomed in here. And so, you know, I'm like right here is where the level is. So not over, not under, just perfect. So I put in like 9 3/4 quarts. And we're done. And so this car is no different than any other. I need to start doing videos. I need to start making oil change videos. Not the first time I did it, but like the 5th time, so I actually know what the heck it looks. It looks like I know what the heck I'm doing, but I think that's part of the fun, is sharing the experience, sharing how, you know, the learning process. So anyway, routine change. Hopefully next time I do this, I'll be doing it on my lift in my new garage, but I suspect that's not going to happen. I'll probably have to change the oil in this before then, but you know, theoretically, I'll probably have to change it a year from now, because I probably won't put that many miles in this car, especially once I get my GT3 back. So, as always, anyway, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more crazy. Because what happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor.
Dialed in.